change one thing about Earth, just one: distance, air, water, and we don't exist.
Sending post-landing command now.
Welcome home.
Perspective that we saw these things. Perspective I launched with was that we live on a fragile planet.
Welcome back to our third and final session, From Creation to Creator. And this isn't for everyone, but if you have been paying attention, stay with us. We have been talking about Artemis 2, how it went back to the moon and they completed their mission. It was amazing to see that in the last couple of weeks. We have been talking here about the universe and how things are placed. We talked about the stars. We talked about the size of the universe. And today we're going to be talking about how perfect our Earth is. We're not just on a planet. We are on a planet that works. And that is extremely rare when you look at the universe. In our knowledge, we are on the only planet that has life. And one of the reasons that that is true is because of our distance to our sun, our star, which is the sun. We are in the perfect distance. Any closer, we would burn up and there would be no life. It would be too hot. Any farther and we would freeze up. It's called the perfect Goldilocks position. And this only happens here on Earth. That's why none of our other planets have been able to sustain life as of yet. Now we are trying to make a difference, and as you know, the Artemis missions are trying to head to the moon to colonize that and then to go even farther. But they're going to have to change many things. The other thing that we have in our Earth that they're trying to get to other planets, but it hasn't been done yet, is our atmosphere. We actually have an atmosphere on our Earth. It's covering our Earth all around us. It's very thin. They actually saw a picture in Artemis. They show the thin layer of the Earth. And when you see it, even though it's small and it's delicate, what it's doing is that it is protecting us. It is holding us. It's creating like a greenhouse effect. And it is allowing air, this is the big part, air to stay inside our atmosphere. We have oxygen here, and if we did not have our atmosphere, air would just leave the atmosphere, like on the moon. On the moon, it has zero atmosphere, and they're not able to contain the oxygen because it just leaves. Nothing stays down on the moon. Other planets are the same way, but here on Earth, it does happen. And that right there is not just a one thing, is an exact thing. And there are more things. There are more fine tunings that we could find here on Earth. For example, the other huge one is water, H2O. This planet, it really shouldn't be called Earth. It should be called water because it's mostly made of water, of H2O. But that right there is life. Water has sustained us because it gives life. Everything that you can think of that has life uses water. Now, they did find H2O on the moon, and that is a big thing because they're going to be able to harness that and turn it into drinking water, into oxygen. Once you separate it, you can separate the hydrogen molecules with the oxygen molecules, breathe the oxygen molecules, and use the hydrogen for fuel for future adventures and future exploration. But once again, this Earth, fine-tuned, perfect, in the perfect spots, in a perfect place to contain water. These are only a few of the fine-tunings that the Earth has, but wait, there's more. The magnetic field of the Earth. This is a huge one. People don't realize this, that the Earth is a big magnet. And what it is that it's actually creating this circle around the Earth. The sun has strong radiation and it pushes solar winds all throughout the solar system. Not just our Earth, but all the way throughout the other planets. And it hits every single planet really hard. It would hit our Earth. It actually does hit our Earth. But what the magnetic field does is that it protects our Earth and it allows us to live here on Earth without extra protection, without any extra gear, without any extra suits. And we're able to live here. And that is what the magnetic field is doing for us. And by the way, This is why we see the northern lights every so often, is because the solar winds hit it and they get dissipated, but because of the rings of the magnetic field, it's able to go up to the top and you see that glow. Those lights are amazing. If you ever seen it, leave us in the comments if you ever seen it, because I know that not a lot of people have seen it. And it is something amazing if you have been able to see it. And all this, by the way, like I said, all this has been made to be perfect. Perfect. The last one that I will share with you is the tilt of the earth. The tilt of the earth is slightly tilted. It's spinning on an axis, but it's not spinning right. It's spinning sideways. And because of this, what happens is that it has created seasons. It has created even the currents, the winds to happen. And this is needed because it creates life. It actually cleans the earth. It has the ability for us to regenerate and for the earth to heal itself. Without it, things would be stale and just stay stuck. The waters, the winds would stay stuck. And that's actually not good. We actually need the wind. We need things to stabilize. We need the seasons. Now, I know if you live in South Florida or anywhere tropical, you barely see any seasonal changes, but there are, and we need all of those. Once again, putting the earth in the perfect place. And that right there, it has not been by happenstance. Now, change any one of these, any one, and we wouldn't have life here on earth. There are even more. But they were all placed, this fine tuning was placed in order for us to have life here on earth. So the question is, was this random or was this placed? Join me here in Genesis 2, how God shows us how he created and made everything perfect. It says here in Genesis 2:1, thus the heavens and earth were finished, and all of the hosts in them. And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had made. And he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because all that in he had rested from all his work which God created and made. And he saw that everything he had made was perfect, and he rejoiced in it. And now here's the next thoughts where I need you to follow along, because this is very important. If God created the heavens, the earth in a perfect place, what does that say about you? What this says about us is that God took even more detail when he came to man, when he came to woman. He took so much detail that he created purpose, not just in the fine tuning of the earth, but in the fine tuning of where you are in life, what's happening to you. I know it seems a lot of times that things are random, that things are misplaced, but God put you in a position where you are right now in order to do great things. He wants you to rejoice. He wants you to enjoy. He also wants you to have purpose. And that right there is where God has you, that perfect position. I want to share with you with a Psalms. This is in Psalms 139:13. It says, for he created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, and I know that full well. We could keep speaking about the earth and the fine tuning, everything that needs to happen for our earth to have life. Or the universe, how great it is, the mysteries it has, the things that are yet to be explored by us. But if one thing is true of all this, is that if the universe was placed, if the earth was placed, then so are you. You are made to be exactly who you are and to walk in your purpose. And this is the journey that we walk every day. I know that someone here needed to hear that. And this is why we have this series, in order to lift each other up. If there's someone that you know that needs to hear this, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with them, because I know that this will lift someone else. And if you're starting to see this and you're starting to open your eyes to the reality that is our universe, how big it is and how big you are, then stay with us, because there will be more. From creation to creator.